Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. If you've been looking to create an app using Vibe coders, then you've probably run into Emergent AI. The thing though is that you've probably also noticed that almost every review out there is sponsored. So naturally the reviews would be biased and most people would end up buying it without actually knowing what it's good for. So after testing this platform and building dozen applications with it and different platforms, I'm going to provide you with an honest review. I'm going to walk you through everything, what Emergent does well, where it genuinely falls short, and whether it's worth your time and money or not. That way you can decide for yourself before spending anything. And if you want to test it out yourself while you watch along, you will find a link below this video, which you can sign up completely for free using it. But without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And if you're not very familiar with what it is, it's an AI app builder that lets you describe what you want in plain English. Pretty straightforward, and then you would generate a full stack application from that description. Not just a front end, the back end, database, authentication, API routes, and deployment are all handled automatically. The way it does this is through a multi-agent system. Different AI agents handle the different parts of the build. So for example, there is a planning agent, a front-end agent that builds the UI, usually in React or Next.js, and a back-end agent that sets up the server logic with Fast API or Node.js and connects a database. You can watch the whole process happen in real time. It creates files, installs dependencies, configures environment variables, and all of that stuff. But here is what actually happens when you use it. You will sign up, you will land on this builder interface, and you can type your idea into a prompt box right here. There will be quick start suggestions if you want to test with something simple, but for a real project, you would write a full detailed prompt covering what the app does, what user roles it has, and how the data actually should flow. Now here is what I realized after having used Emergent for quite some time. It asks clarifying questions before it starts building, and I think it does it super well compared to other competitors. If your prompt has gaps or ambiguity, it pauses and asks follow-up questions about things like database setup, auth methods, or feature priorities. You can answer these yourself or let it proceed with reasonable defaults. Now the reason this is good is because it saves you credits and leads to a better first build. Once it starts, the agents work through the project step by step. You will see files being created in both the front end and the back end. It installs packages, sets up environment configs, and begins rendering the application in a live preview pane. A typical first build takes around 10 to 20 minutes depending on complexity and how detailed your prompt is. But where it gets interesting is that after the build, Emergent runs automated tests like backend API tests, authentication flow checks, and all of these things. It shows you a checklist of what passed and what failed. So seeing your build get validated automatically is a real time saver. Some features that I think are pretty well done and actually impressed me would be the visual QA system. So during the build process, Emergent takes screenshots of the app and compares what it built against what you asked for. If it realizes that something does not match your prompt, a missing element, or a layout issue, a feature that wasn't maybe implemented, it would flag it and attempt to fix it on its own. That is definitely not something that I have seen in other competitors like Lovable or Bolt or Replit. They build what they build and then hand it to you. Emergent actually QAs itself. So for anyone who's built a SaaS application with AI tools before, you know how much time gets wasted on catching small UI issues that the AI missed. And this visual self-check does not catch everything, but the fact that it exists at all is a meaningful step forward. It's the kind of feature that makes you think that this platform has the right ideas about where the real pain points are. And of course, with time, this feature will get better and better. But of course, no platform is perfect, and here is the honest part, there are some real issues. So on the other hand, the UI quality is noticeably weaker than other competitors. When you give Emergent a prompt, it comes back with something functional but visually basic, often a plain white page with minimal styling. But other competitors like Lovable, by example, returns a polished, well-styled interface from the same prompt without even being asked. Emergent does not add design touches behind the scenes, it builds exactly what you describe and nothing more. The argument for this approach is that it's more predictable and gives you more control. But the argument against it is that most people using AI app builders are not designers, so they expect something that looks decent by default. When I tested giving Emergent a detailed design prompt asking for a specific visual change, the results were actually pretty disappointing. It either misinterpreted the request or made the UI even worse. So getting Emergent to produce a polished looking applications takes significantly more effort and prompt engineering than tools like Lovable or the competitors. So by far, this is the single biggest gap. If visual quality matters to you, and for most applications it should, you will either spend extra credits refining the design or end up moving to a different tool for the front end. Now the credit system is the other major problem. Credits get consumed for every action the AI takes, every file it creates, every bug it tries to fix, every test that it runs. On the standard plan at $20 per month, you get about 100 credits, but hosting a deployed application costs 50 credits per month. And that leaves you 50 credits for an entire month of building, which goes pretty fast. So one of the bad scenarios that you could go through is debugging loops. When the AI makes a mistake and tries to fix it, each attempt will cost credits. And if it gets stuck, which does happen, you're watching your balance drain on a problem that isn't even getting resolved. You can set per chat budget limits to prevent a runaway session, but that doesn't make the underlying costs more predictable. Also, some people reported that the free tier could be misleading, as you get 5 to 10 credits for free, which is enough to see the interface and start a basic build, but it's not enough to complete or deploy anything. And since we are talking about the credits and the pricing, here is what the pricing currently stands. The free plan is again 5 to 10 credits per month, which are pretty exploration only. The standard plan is at $20 per month for 100 credits. GitHub integration, mobile app development, private hosting, realistically enough for 1 or 2 small projects per month, less if you iterate heavily. But if you want to build some real applications, it's about $200 per month for the Pro plan, and it gives you around 750 credits. This one unlocks a 1,000,000 token context window, custom AI agent creation, system prompt editing, Stripe integration, and more. So this is definitely the tier for building real applications. And if you end up getting a plan but running out of credits, the top-ups are about $10 for 50 credits, and those don't expire and are used only after your monthly credits have run out. If you opt in for any annual billing on these plans, you would end up saving about 17%. So again, if you want to test out these free credits, just explore the platform out. The link will be below this video for you to getting started. So who should actually be using Emergent? I would say it's for non-technical founders who want to validate a product idea fast and care more about whether it works than whether it looks good. Maybe small businesses that need internal tools, admin dashboards, or booking systems where functionality matters more than design. And developers who want to skip boilerplate setup and get a working full-stack scaffold that they can export and continue building on later. But if you are on a tight budget and you plan to iterate a lot, or if you need a polished UI without heavy prompt engineering, then you should probably skip it. The bottom line is that Emergent has solved some of the harder problems in AI app building: the backend architecture, the automated testing, the self-debugging, and visual QA. These are the things that waste the most time in real development, and having them handled automatically is genuinely valuable. But at the moment, it's being let down by 2 things: the UI quality gap compared to competitors, and the credit system that makes costs unpredictable and punishes iteration. Both of these feel solvable. The design defaults could improve and the pricing model could become more transparent. But right now, they are real friction points and you should be aware of them. So I wouldn't say just go ahead and avoid it. I would say that know what it's good at and know what it's not, and then use it for the right type of project. If you can write very detailed prompts, set budget limits on your sessions, and you can build amazing applications with great backend. So that will be all on this review. Thanks so much for watching. If you have found this video to be helpful or informative to watch, let us know by giving us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos similar to this one.